Thanks for joining me on the news. Atiku says, I still have no confidence in INEC. Thugs destroy voting materials in Bayelsa. In Imo, police rescue 19 abducted INEC ad hoc staff. Cross River, Emana Duke says INEC shouldn't disappoint electorates this time. And El Rufai, Kaduna speaker, argue over 2023 elections. Stay with me for these and more stories. More from our correspondent, Prudence Burger, on the reports from the gubernatorial elections. Nigerians out to vote have aired their grievances as the election has recorded a low turnout for the elections. Around the Tudun-Wada and Hulshi areas of Jos Plateau State, it has been recorded that the exercise was peaceful. However, the voters and the electoral officials have expressed their dissatisfaction at the turnout of the voters for the exercise. The voters have expressed positivity this time around. The elections result will be positive to keep their hope for a better Nigeria. According to the voters, Nigerians are unhappy with the results of the previous elections, resulting to the low turnout of the voters. However, some have expressed resilience, promising to continue to come out and exercise their franchise. Even as the election process is going smoothly and fair with no alert of violence, voter apathy has become the major challenge faced in the governorship election. Polling units with thousands of registered voters are having a few hundred casting their votes. And also from Rachel Tande at Aliyu Makama polling unit 013 of Jos North local government area. Poor voter turnout is the major concern of the fewer voters who came out to cast their vote. The same is the situation in polling zones in Hoshi and Dadinkowa areas. Speaking to a few individuals that have cast their votes, the major reasons for the situation were lack of cash and disappointment in the previous electoral process. This has discouraged a lot of people to come out with the feeling that their votes no longer count. The presidential standard bearer of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, Atiku Abubakar, voted in the governorship and assembly polls just before noon today on Saturday, saying he still has no confidence in the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC. Atiku voted at his Ajia 002 polling unit in Old GRA Jimeta in Yola North local government area. He said, according to reports, that INEC performed badly during the presidential election of last month, and the commission has done nothing since then to give him confidence. He said, and I quote, I still don't believe in INEC. I have seen nothing up to now to believe that their performance will be better in how they handle this election than the last one. Atiku voted in the company of his wife, Titi, in the exercise to elect the next Adamawa governor and 25 members of the assembly. Governor Amadou Fintiri holds the governorship ticket of the PDP for election, while Senator Aishatu Ahmed Binani bears that of the All Progressives Congress, APC. Aishatu had voted earlier in the morning at Ayola South unit, saying confidence in the chances of her becoming Nigeria's first elected female governor. Some hoodlums have reportedly hijacked and destroyed voting materials meant for the House of Assembly election in Wards 2, 3, 4, and 5 in Constituency 5 of the Ogbia local government area of Bayelsa State. Governor Doidiri has firmly condemned the act, according to his Chief Press Secretary, Mr. Daniel Alabra. The governor urged the Inspector General of Police and Commissioner of Police for Bayelsa State to restore peace in the area. Accreditation and voting, meanwhile, were yet to begin at wards polling units 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and 19 in Atisa constituency, Yenagua local government area of Bayelsa State as of 9:00 a.m. According to the report, it was observed that INEC officials and balloting materials had yet to leave the Atisa RAC as of 8:45 a.m. Buses and other vehicles were seen being loaded with voting materials to depart for polling units in the area. Meanwhile, in the early hours of Saturday, operatives of the Imo State Police Command have rescued 19 INEC ad hoc staff who were kidnapped in Imo State. The development was confirmed by INEC authorities in the state. According to officials, the 19 INEC ad hoc staff were on their way to 7 different polling units in Ogbili, Ward 06 in Idiato South local government area of Imo State when they were kidnapped. Chinenye Chijioke Osuji's INEC spokesperson said the rescue team took place after a distress call and information about the incident was made to the operatives, who immediately swung into action. The deputy gubernatorial candidate of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, Emena Duke Ambrose Mwahwe, has called on the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, not to disappoint the electorate in the ongoing governorship election. Mrs. Mwahwe made the call at the government primary school Esukumba after casting her vote. She stated her happiness with the smooth way the process was going on in her units, while urging INEC and the electorate to replicate the same across the states. According to her, we expect INEC to follow due diligence and hold themselves by the creed they stand by, which is that people's votes count. INEC should not disappoint the states so that confidence can be restored in the system. So far, the weather is clement. People have turned out early here and things are right. The beavers is working, and hopefully this should be the sustain across the state, she said. She said though her word has been penned down as a flashpoint, she, however, advised the electorate to be bold enough to come out and cast their vote. Speaking further, she cautioned against vote buying and forcing people to vote against their wishes, stressing that the agents are expected to act appropriately and express optimism that things will go in her favor. Meanwhile, voting at the Ikot Edem Odo Ward 8 PU 006 at 10:19 a.m. and has 434 voters. No challenge was recorded as things went on smoothly. Still on the news, Kaduna State Governor Nasiru El-Rufai and Speaker of the Kaduna State House of Assembly, retired Honorable Ibrahim Yusuf Zailani, were allegedly engrossed in heated argument over the performance of the ruling All Progressives Congress APC in the 2023 election in Kaduna State. According to reports from reliable sources close to Sir Kashim Ibrahim House, Kaduna, the two senior citizens of the state parted on an uncomfortable note the earlier night after a party caucus meeting in the state capital. This was the first time we heard the speaker to have openly quarreled with the governor, and other party faithful were not happy with the sudden political development in the state in which the ruling APC was not winning votes as the case was in 2019, according to the source. Meanwhile, Special Advisor Media, a publicity to Kaduna State Speaker, retired Honorable Ibrahim Yusuf Zailani, Ibrahim Dahiru Danfulani, has called on the founder of Liberty Radio and Television, Ahmed Ramalan Tijani, to withdraw his allegation of trouble brewing between his principal and the Kaduna Government House. Alhaji Tijani on his verified Facebook page wrote, "Fireworks in the government house, hate speech, reckless speech exchange between the king of hate and Honorable Speaker Zailani." The media aide to the speaker says such posts on social platform by a respected elder and chieftain in the state was least expected, stressing that relationship between executive and legislative arm of government is very cordial. I urge him to withdraw the statement as a respected person whom we also respect, because the working relationship between the state government and legislative arm is good. More stories. Lai Mohammed says Beavers has been a game changer. Minister of Information and Culture Lai Mohammed described the February 25th presidential and National Assembly elections as one of the most transparent and credible elections Nigeria has ever had. He added that the introduction of the bimodal voters accreditation system, BVAS, has been a game changer in the electoral process in the country. Mohammed said this in Oro, Erupodu local government area of Kwara State shortly after casting his votes at Oro Ward 2 polling unit 006 in the ongoing governorship and House of Assembly elections. It was observed that election was characterized by low turnout in the community. But the minister attributed the seemingly low turnout to the change of polling units venue. He said, and I quote, "It is too early to judge the turnout at 9:45 a.m. I think the change of venue perhaps has contributed for the seemingly low turnout. I hope that the party agents will continue to mobilize the electorate and enlighten them of the new change of venue of the polling units. What I have observed from February 25th till date is that there has been marked improvement in the performance of INEC." On Beavers, Mohammed said that without any doubt, the introduction of Beavers has been a game changer. In the sense, with Beavers, we are able to get the precise number of people who are accredited. And with Beavers, it is not possible for you to vote twice because your biometrics and facial appearance are captured. That explains why, even though INEC says that about 84 million registered voters are in Nigeria, but the last election showed that only about 24 million voters actually cast their vote. This is large because of the effectiveness of Beavers. This is, to me, probably one of the most transparent and credible elections in Nigeria. That is why I get worried about the red herring by some people I can call sad losers in the aftermath of the presidential and National Assembly elections. He further said, I am glad to say that some of the aggrieved members have gone to court. That is the best thing in any election in the world. Let the court interpret what the law says. In Suleja, low turnout of voters. Some polling units in the Suleja area of Niger State also witnessed a low turnout of voters. Despite the restriction of movement, motorcycle riders were seen at different junctions waiting for passengers. Shops and businesses also opened for their daily activities. Unlike the presidential election, which witnessed a large turnout and late arrivals of materials, the governorship and assembly election in areas visited in Niger State witnessed low turnout in spite of early arrival of materials. The polling units visited as Suleja Emir's Palace Polling Unit 003, Ward 02, Eco South 2, Polling Unit 007, Kwankwashe UBE Primary School, Kwankwashe Eco 2, State Library beside the Correctional Center in Suleja, and Suleja Emir's Palace. At the State Library polling units, the presiding officer said, and I quote, "We arrived around 8 a.m. with materials and voting started around 8:30 a.m. As of 9:06, only 3 voters have come to vote, despite the voting population is 615. At Suleja Emir's Palace polling unit 003 and another polling units around it, accreditation and voting commenced before 8:30 a.m. The presiding officer, Suleiman Usman, said, "We came in early, but people are not coming as expected. We hope they will come out before the end of the voting process." At Ward 06, Eco South 2, polling unit 007, Kwankwashe, the presiding officer, Adamu Idris, said, "The process has been peaceful and orderly compared to the presidential, where we were overwhelmed. We arrived at 7:53 a.m. and voting commenced at 8:01 a.m. This place was choked the last time, but you can see that we're waiting for people to come." INEC officials at UBE Primary School 025 in Kwankwashe arrived around 8:15 and voting commenced by 8:30. A team of observers from the European Union Election Observation Mission and Yaga Africa were present at the polling units to observe the process. And finally, Rivers local government elections violence free, flawed by voter apathy. The Rivers State local government election, which held yesterday, was characterized by voter apathy and late arrival of electoral materials. The All Progressives Congress, which boycotted the election, described it as a sham and illegal, contrary to the state government's security concern that a faction of the APC was arming political thugs to disrupt the election in Abua, Odwal, Ukuku Toru, Asari Toru, Degema, Omuhwa, Ikwere, Ogama, Igbema, Indoni, Opobo, and Tai local government areas. The entire process was devoid of violence and snatching of ballot boxes. Though the Rivers State Independent Electoral Commission began distributing of election materials on Thursday, with voting expected to commence by 8 a.m. yesterday, the election was almost marred by logistic challenges, particularly in Port Harcourt and Obio Akwa local government councils. As early as 7 o'clock a.m., scores of electoral officers had gathered at the registration area centers racks at Obio Akwa, Port Harcourt, Degema, Ogba, Igbeke, Ndoni, Gokana, Kana, and other local government areas, but the distribution of sensitive voting material did not begin till well past 9 o'clock a.m. RSIEC spokesperson Sarah Meni Angbara said the delay in distribution of electoral materials in some local government areas was due to advice by security agents who obtained intelligence reports that some people were planning to hijack materials and cause chaos. To be candid, she said, "We got security report that some people wanted to be funny, and security agents had to advise us to hold on while they investigate the report." Voting began on time in places such as Omuku, Bolo, Buguma, Boni, Opobo, Bori, Oyigbo, Tai, Eleme. But voting did not start in Obio Akwa till around 11 o'clock a.m. due to late arrival of materials. The poll was totally devoid of violence, but the process was flawed by poor turnout of voters, which most people blame on boycotts by the major opposition party. APC factional chairman Ojukwaye Flag Amechi said the party still stands by the outcome of the May 23, 2015 local government election, which its candidates won. But the Federal High Court in Port Harcourt had in July 2015 sacked the 22 council executives on the foundation that they were elected in flagrant disobedience of a valid and subsisting order restraining RSIEC from conducting the May 23, 2015 polls. This case is presently before the Supreme Court. An APC federal lawmaker representing Tai Oyigbo Eleme constituency in the House of Representatives, Barry Impigi, after voting in Tai yesterday, castigated his party for boycotting the election. At 2:00 p.m., voting had already been concluded at Governor Wike's Ward 9, Unit 7 at Rumupi, Recon. Wike lauded both RSIEC and security agencies for the successful conduct of polls and for ensuring that the election was peaceful. He said the non-partisan of the APC was one of the reasons the process was peaceful. 66 out of the 68 political parties participated, but no violence. That means that if APC had participated, probably would have seen violence, according to him. 66 political parties, no violence, no shooting, nobody has died. But if he explained that the message to the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, is that it cannot conduct credible election if it resists pressures from different quarters. INEC can be committed to do the right thing. Once they build confidence, every other thing will move on smoothly, according to the governor. The polling officer at Ward 9, Unit 3, Omoaka in Ekwire local government area blamed the late arrival of materials on the early morning shower witnessed in Port Harcourt. The candidate of the PDP for Ekwire local government area, Mr. Samuel, praised the police for being neutral and for providing security. He described the conduct of the election as peaceful and democratic. To refresh our memories, Atiku says, "I still have no confidence in INEC." Thugs destroy voting materials in Bayelsa. In Imo, police rescue 19 abducted INEC ad hoc staff. Cross River, Emena Duke says INEC shouldn't disappoint electorate this time, and El Rufai, Kaduna speaker, argue over 2023 elections. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.